to get fit and healthy. It's time to talk about nutrition. Nutrition for your body, your mind, your spirit. It's time to talk about proper exercise, stress relief, eating well, and supplementation to help. Get ready to take charge of your health because your health is your wealth and the wealth of those who care about and love you. It's time for Let's Talk Nutrition with Dr. Michael Garko. Welcome to the show.
And welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition 2020. Thank you very much for tuning into the show, wherever and however you may be listening or watching it, and whatever you may be doing to make sure, to ensure that you don't get infected with this coronavirus, and as well as your family and friends, and doing all you can to help and protect them as well. Yes, here we are. Well, I guess we're about midweek, and we're not even midstream yet into this coronavirus business. My list of people that I know um, who've been infected with the virus keeps growing, and I, their descriptions of their experience comports with many of the reports that I hear on different media and across different media across the country. And it is remarkable the variance in terms of signs and symptoms and how long a person will remain ill. Some people, they don't even know they're infected, they're asymptomatic. And some people were infected and will never know if they were infected unless they go get tested, maybe, and if assuming that the antibodies are still there. And then I've talked now with people where they have been ill in a severe sense for up as far as 2 weeks and beyond. And it's unpleasant, to say the least. Like when the doctor says, the surgeon says, you're going to feel a little pressure. The word pressure is a euphemism for pain. When I say discomfort, um, that's really a euphemism for it's horrible. It's horrible for some. And that's what's so peculiar. There are many peculiar things about this virus. You know, I've been fortunate to get an education, and despite the fact that my family were immigrants and we were poor, but somehow, some way, figured out, and they helped me get an education. I've learned a lot of things along the way from many great professors. The one thing that has always intrigued me is, and I'm sure for you as well, is how we came to be in this world that put together the way that we find it, and the way we're, and in the context in which we find ourselves situated right now. What I'm getting at is this: we have a microorganism, this virus, that has literally, literally changed the way people live across the globe. I'm sure in 1918, 1919, when the influenza pandemic, sometimes called the Spanish flu, spread across the planet, and tens of millions of people died, upwards of 50 million across the globe. And the United States was severely affected. We're sort of, not sort of, we're experiencing the same sort of thing. And it makes me think about when I was sitting in those courses, whether it was biology, whatever, and the professor's talking about these microorganisms, and at the and in that moment, you're not paying much. You're paying attention because you know you're going to be quiz tested on it, and maybe you're even curious too. But until and when you have an event like this, do we really understand that it's something that we cannot see with the naked eye can be so deadly, so disruptive, destructive, disconcerting, depressing. I can go down the list. And we should learn from this, I think, and understand that, you know, we're not on this planet alone. And we have not been good stewards, I don't think, of this planet. There's so much room for improvement in our relationship with other organisms on this planet, other life, other species of animals and whatnot. And for me, going through this moment is a reminder that we're not here alone, and there's much that we can't see that's having a profound effect on us. That we need to somehow garner more respect for being, as stewards of the planet, occupants of this planet, and being together. I find it curious. We keep talking about herd immunity, whereby a pretty good percentage of the population has developed antibodies either through infection or through injection of a vaccine. But when you watch all those shows, those wildlife shows, and you see these animals in herds, notice how, and you see how they behave and how they care for one another as a herd. It's all instinctive on their part. We have the ability to be self-reflexive. We can think about our thinking. We can move to higher levels of abstraction than antelope and lions and whatever. But those animals seem to have a far better understanding of what the herd really means. So this is all by way of saying that I think that we should try to not squander this moment, learn from it, respect this planet. There are many life forms on this planet, some of which are a grave threat to us as we're now learning. And and I put this in quote, a herd, the herd of humanity, if you will, I think we need to do better, figure out how to do better with one another, right? And you get a lot of time to think about this when you're, you know, cut off from the world. And I see people violating almost every person I know who's been infected has described their experience and admittedly said that they were not careful and were maybe to some extent, and maybe to a large extent, dismissive of this virus. This notion of being invulnerable and that somehow it'll infect everybody else, but not me. A lot of lessons here, and I'm not so sure that we're you know, being good students as well as good stewards of this planet. I suspect that 10, 20, 30 years, 50 years from now, people are going to look back on this moment and going to be wondering, what were those people thinking? What were they doing? Hmm. Just a few thoughts of reflection. Got a lot on the menu today. We'll get you updated. Going to talk about lately, and you can tell, I talk about those things that you can do that will improve your health, protect your health, enhance your health, and keep you maybe a step or two ahead of this unseen nemesis. I'll be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, listen up. It's me, your immune system. I'm always hard at work defending you against the many disease-causing viruses and bacteria that you are exposed to every day. But sometimes I need help to defeat the bad bugs. Luckily, our friends at Kyolic have come to the rescue. Kyolic has two super immune-enhancing supplements, Kyolic Immune Formula 103 and Kyo Green Harvest Blend Immune Defense. Kyo Green Harvest Blend is a power-packed blend of organic and naturally sourced grasses, ancient grains, fruits, veggies, herbal extracts, and spirulina in a fast-dissolving drink mix for a quick and easy way to support immunity. Kyolic Immune Formula 103 combines immune-boosting nutrients with aged garlic extract. Aged garlic extract has been clinically shown to support a healthy immune response and reduce both the duration and severity of cold and flu symptoms. Help me protect you with Kyolic supplements and nutritional drink mixes to fortify your immune health today. Available at fine natural health retailers.
Celsius is a fitness drink which is clinically proven to function. How? As a thermogenic, Celsius proprietary MetaPlus blend accelerates metabolism, increasing your body's ability to burn fat and calories. There are only two ways a body burns fat: through increased heart rate and our increased body temperature, thermogenesis. Drinking Celsius and then going into motion is double dipping. You're accelerating the burn and the results are even faster. Celsius is your ultimate fitness partner. No high fructose corn syrup, no aspartame, no preservatives, no artificial colors or flavors. 100% of 7 essential vitamins. Proven in 6 published university studies. How does it work? Celsius proprietary MetaPlus formula, including green tea with EGCS, ginger, and guarana seed, turns on thermogenesis, a process that boosts your body's metabolic rate. Drinking Celsius prior to fitness activities is proven to energize, accelerate metabolism, burn body fat and calories. Invest in yourself. Drink Celsius. Look for us at www.celsius.com.
This is Dr. Michael Garko, and you're listening to Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. If you want to find out more about the show, visit my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. This is Dr. Michael Garko, and you're listening to Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. If you want to find out more about the show, visit my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. Michael Garko, host of Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. You can get more information about the show on my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com.
Let's Talk Nutrition is brought to you by CV Sciences, from seed to shelf. New chapter, the benefit of nature's wisdom. Jarrow Formulas, superior nutrition and formulation. Form Essentials, makers of the sleep aid Solace. Yerba Prima, pioneers in internal cleansing. Strauss Herbs, everything our bodies need is provided by nature. Let's Talk Nutrition on the web at letstalknutrition.com. We're back from the break, so let's rejoin Dr. Michael Garko.
Welcome back. Welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition. And here's Katie to tell you how to make contact with the show, and I would love to connect with you.
Yes, you can give us a call, 877-897-8255. That's 877-897-TALK. You You can also email Dr. Garko personally. His email is drgarko, Garko, at letstalknutrition.com. You can listen to the show on letstalknutrition.com too. Just go to the show schedule tab, and you can also watch the show on Facebook and YouTube.
YouTube. Thank you, Katie.
You're welcome.
The novel coronavirus, the number of cases now around the world has moved beyond 22 million people. It's according to Johns Hopkins University. With nearly 11.5 million total cases, the Americas, North America, Central America, and South America, account for 64% of the world's COVID-19 deaths. The director of the Pan American Health Organization was commenting on that. I saw that in Australia, they were talking about having a mandated vaccine, that they were going to mandate it, but apparently they backed off of that. Relatedly, Dr. Anthony Fauci said he does not foresee, according to reports, a COVID-19 vaccine mandate in the United States. That would probably send people completely over the edge, if I had to guess. In other words, forcing people, mandating that they get vaccinated. Country I just mentioned, Australia, has secured some arrangement with AstraZeneca company that apparently has created a potential COVID-19 vaccine. And the country of Australia, it is being reported, would provide that vaccine free to all citizens. As I said, they backed off the idea of mandating it, which I think is a good idea. You know, human beings, when you study human behavior, you learn pretty quick that when you try to force people to do things, you try to contain them, you try to limit their sense of freedom and even the illusion of control, you may get momentary compliance, but you're going to get long-term disobedience. I promise you that. Every one of us knows who has raised children or has been a teacher or a professor of some sort or another, or been in a relationship with another human being. We know that that's just how we are. When you start mandating things, you better buckle up for some pushback. And I would be the first in line on that. I would object to that 100%. That's not saying that I wouldn't get the vaccine, but I wouldn't support a mandate. No way. Mm-mm. South Africa is by far and away the hardest hit in Africa on the on the continent. Yeah. It confirmed a case count of about 200,000 and it's rapidly increasing. Asia, you remember long ago and far away when I reported on, what was the name of that city now? Oh, yes, Wuhan. You remember that city, which was the ground zero for this COVID-19 pandemic? Guess what? They have moved on from the virus. Thousands of people gathered in an open air water park for an electronic music festival in Wuhan. Nobody had masks. There was no need to social distance. None of that. And here we are, caught in a quagmire. In Japan, coronavirus fatigue is really getting under, it's really affecting people's behavior, and they're just becoming more defiant, especially in the city of Tokyo, where many feel, they say, leaders have only done the bare minimum to stop this virus in its track. So you see, and let me give you another uh, sample of what's going on around the world. Spain, France, Greece, and Germany are among the countries that have seen very troublesome spikes in the COVID-19 cases recently, in these recent weeks. Why? Because they have gone back to what they think is normal after months of lockdown. So I report on these other places to give us a sense of how others on this planet are doing. There would have been a time we would have not have known. And many of these countries are in the same sort of difficult circumstance that we find ourselves. So can't let your guard down, man. Can't let your guard down. LTN, coast to coast and globally. Globally. Just like that virus. But we have a better purpose. Be right back. This is Dr. Michael Garko from Let's Talk Nutrition. If there were ever a time to take charge of your health, now's that time, given the U.S. coronavirus epidemic. Earth's Creation scientifically tested Curculife curcumin and its family of products can help you do just that. If you have an inflammation-generating condition, such as obesity, heart disease, or diabetes, you are at a greater risk to be infected by the coronavirus. Earth's Creation Curculife curcumin supplement is a patented turmeric formulation with extensive clinical trials. It allows more curcumin to get into your cells to fight inflammation, a hallmark of viral infections. Curculife Plus curcumin is in many of Earth's Creation family of products. Go to inflammationusa.com and protect yourself against the coronavirus. For a limited time, buy any product at inflammationusa.com and get the second bottle at 50% off. Act now. Go to inflammationusa.com.
1250 WHNZ.
This is Dr. Michael Garko, host of Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. You can get more information about the show on my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. This is Dr. Michael Garko, host of Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. You can get more information about the show on my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. This is Dr. Michael Garko, and you're listening to Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. If you want to find out more about the show, visit my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. This is Dr. Michael Garko, and you're listening to Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. If you want to find out more about the show, visit my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. Dr. Michael Garko, host of Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. You can get more information about the show on my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. This is Dr. Michael Garko, and you're listening to Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. If you want to find out more about the show, visit my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com.
Let's Talk Nutrition is brought to you by Jarrow Formulas, superior nutrition and formulation. Strauss Herbs, everything our bodies need is provided by nature. Kyolic, aging makes the finest garlic truly odorless. Celsius, live fit. Irwin Naturals, premium vitamins and supplements. 25 years of gold standard supplements. Let's Talk Nutrition on the web at letstalknutrition.com. We're back from the break, so let's rejoin Dr. Michael Garko.
Welcome back. Welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition. One of the overarching themes of LTN over the past 15 years is for people to take charge of their health and wellness, and to do that in an informed way, an evidence-based way. And you have to take, you just, because if you don't, you're going to get caught up in fast traffic and more than likely get run over by some illness. And or if you decide that I'm just going to subcontract my health and wellness out to a team of healthcare professionals, and I'll just let them do what they want to do, and I don't even know what questions to ask, and because I haven't done my due diligence and educated myself or become informed. Now, that's a nice theme. Take charge of your health. It resonates with people. I think there's two sides to that coin, and I want to chat a little bit about that, because I think we need to understand what that means and where are we getting the information. There is a researcher by the name of Floridi, almost like Florida, Floridi. I think I'm pronouncing the name correctly, Floridi. And Floridi talked about that we now live in an online information environment. And I can tell you, ask anybody in the world, in that world right now, who understands these platforms, the internet and whatnot, and they're analyzing, doing content analyses of all these different websites. The internet is exploding with people looking for information on how to do better with their health, and especially now to find ways to prevent becoming infected with the virus, or once infected to recover from the virus, or not to die from the virus. So Floridi, which is kind of an interesting name, coined a term which I think is kind of cool. Floridi calls this information, this online information environment, environmental informational environment, the infosphere. I like that. Cool. Infosphere. And I visit that infosphere all the time. And I can tell you, my producers, who are considerably younger than I, are probably more in that infosphere than I am. Although I'm there all day long. But I'm sure they are too, and as are the younger generations of people. And that's just we live in this information world. We've come a long way since Gutenberg and the press, man, when he invented the printing press. We are now in a whole different, no pun intended, galaxy of information.
Usually you're pretty
Trans-
informed, so I don't have to send you stuff. But if I do find something, I always try to send it to you, see what's going on with it, see if you knew about it already before me.
Yeah, I see those things come across my phone that you send me, Reg. Sometimes, not all, about 50% of the time I already know. Some the other 50% I may not. And you just can't keep up. That infosphere is just, depending on how you look at it, filled with great information or contaminated with, bad information. And it can get you into trouble. So one way people they're taking charge of their health is to be a frequent consumer and visitor of the infosphere. And there are websites that are out there. This is like a typology of websites that people use. A typology is can I define that for you? A typology is a collection of concepts that reflect an overall concept. Like, for example, when I'm giving you websites where people go get information, a typology of that. You have commercial websites. Um, like you can go to humannutrition.com or letstalknutrition.com or draxe.com or whatever. Then you have governmental websites. I'm there all the time. I'm at the NIH NIH, they have different renditions. Really a vault of information. You can even go to NASA for that matter. Then you have health news websites. One website I use is First Headline News, breaking news. Time.com is an example. Women's Health mag.com is another example. Okay. A WebMD. It goes on and on. MayoClinic.com. Or, quite frankly, WebMD is more of a health portal. Okay. It's a health portal. MedicineNet, the government website.com, is a health portal. Then you have nonprofit organizations like nutritionfacts.org. I'm there a lot. That's if you want to learn about plant-based medicine, plant-based food, plant-based diet, go to nutritionfacts.org. Then you have these professional websites, clevelandclinic.org, harvard.edu, sciencedirect. Those are two examples. Scientific journals, sciencedirect.com, scientificamerican.com. Then you have this other category, Wikipedia, and there's a blog called paleohacks.com. I mean, that's just a short typology of all these different kinds of general platforms that people visit. And then there's I guess a category that falls in the other that I call junk. Junk platforms where people can get into a lot of trouble. And you got people, that just some on these blogs even saying things that are ridiculous, giving advice. They have no credentials to give. They couldn't give advice to their house pet, but they're there doing it, and people follow it. You have to be a critical consumer of what you are about to read and do based on what you learn. Just a reminder. LTN, we're coast to coast and globally. We are a source. Let'sTalkNutrition.com. Pay a visit. Be right back.
Are you concerned with the change of seasons? Are you looking for a product to support a healthy immune system? Then you must be looking for Oreganol P73, made by North American Herb & Spice, who are a leader in the manufacturing of natural dietary supplements. Oreganol P73 is not your normal oregano. No, Oreganol P73 is made from oregano that grows wild at 10,000 feet above sea level in the mountains of the Mediterranean. That's why it's such a powerful support for your immune system. Try Oreganol P73 today and discover what millions already know during this winter season. To learn more about Oreganol P73, visit your local health food store or our website, oreganol.com. That's oregano.com. Act now and feel better today with Oreganol P73.
You experience the wisdom of nature with Zyflamend Whole Body from New Chapter? Zyflamend is a 10-herb blend that delivers 3 health benefits. First, Zyflamend is an herbal approach to pain relief, helping to soothe minor pain or soreness. Second, Zyflamend is a joint supplement with time-tested herbs to support joint function and flexibility. And the third benefit, Zyflamend supports the body's healthy inflammation response, something that's essential for maintaining whole body health. Zyflamend is New Chapter's clinically tested blend of 10 remarkable herbs, including pure and potent turmeric, ginger, and green tea. Zyflamend is non-GMO, project verified, gluten-free, and 100% vegetarian. New Chapter is a leader in supplement quality. Every ingredient, every product, every time. Discover Zyflamend, New Chapter's #1 selling multi-herbal. Zyflamend is made with ginger for occasional pain relief after exercise. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
The latest trend to hit the store shelves has the whole country buzzing. Cannabidiol, or CBD, might just be the greatest discovery of our generation, and it comes from a plant that is not so new, agricultural hemp. Yes, after 70 years of prohibition and misunderstanding, hemp is back to help you stay healthy and balanced. Growing research is showing that we have a lot to learn from the remarkable hemp plant. Nutrient-rich products like Plus CBD Oil's Total Plant Complex concentrated products provide broad-spectrum nutrition, including fatty acids, plant sterols, cannabinoids, terpenes, and naturally occurring vitamin E. From seed to shelf, all Plus CBD Oil products provide the highest quality hemp-derived CBD products available and are offered in a variety of delivery systems and flavors to suit your needs. Ask your local independent health food store about Plus CBD Oil products by CV Sciences today and learn more about the CBD evolution at pluscbdoil.com. That's pluscbdoil.com.
If you want to find out more about the show, visit my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. This is Dr. Michael Garko, host of Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. You can get more information about the show on my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. Dr. Michael Garko, host of Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. You can get more information about the show on my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com.
Let's Talk Nutrition is brought to you by American Biotech Labs, your daily immune system support. Celsius, Live Fit. CV Sciences, from seed to shelf. New Chapter, the benefit of nature's wisdom. Jarrow Formulas, superior nutrition and formulation. Let's Talk Nutrition on the web at letstalknutrition.com. We're back from the break, so let's rejoin Dr. Michael Garko.
Welcome back to LTN. Thank you for tuning in today. In that last block, I was talking about the infosphere, where all these different platforms that people will visit on the internet to get information, maybe, for example, about how to take charge of their health generally, or more specifically, how to support their immune system or boost their immune system. People like they want to boost their immune system. Sometimes you don't want to boost it. You just want to balance it. Nevertheless, all of those different examples that I gave of platforms that people visit, from commercial to governmental to blogs to medical agencies and organizations, all these different sources. And so we see now an explosion of people visiting these different platforms to learn about immunity. For the longest time on this show, I have talked about the plants, and that at one point I was really zeroed in on a plant-based diet, and I was trying to instill that message, a whole food plant-based diet. And the people that call me, write to me and ask me, what should I do? What should I do? And one of my very frequent, almost every time, I will say to them, introduce more plants into your diet. And then I get more specific. Some people will embrace that, some not so much. They think that I'm saying to the exclusion of eating meat. And I don't necessarily say that. I say embrace a whole food plant-based diet. I didn't say to them, embrace it, but and eliminate all other foods other than plants. That's just not going to work for many people. So if most of your diet is plant-based, you're going to go a long way in improving your health immediately, and you're going to go a long way in supporting your immune system. So I'll give you one less thing to worry about. Instead of running all over hither and yon from one platform to another in that infosphere, zero in on plant-based foods, plant-based diet, plants as mediators, effective mediators of your immune system. The plants, without the plants, there is no planet. Right? And I've explained that a couple of times over the years. In the world of nutrition, this notion of the diet health connection is a big deal. And it occupies a volume of research that's beyond even comprehension. And all kinds of different interventions that come across and over the transom. And this notion of functional and nutraceutical foods that are more plant-based to support your immune system, to augment your immune system, to get your immune system into balance is a key and keen strategy. So your immune system is this really elaborate arrangement of organs and cells that allow us to defend against these foreign elements like viruses and bacteria and whatnot. And if it's working properly, it can be very, very effective in protecting you. People intuitively understand that. I can tell you, eating a diet that is dominated with junk food, processed foods, unhealthy meat, meat that is contaminated from the way that the animals were raised and what they did to feed them and so on, that will make your immune system as dysfunctional as it could ever be. And many people don't seem to put that together. Junk food equals junk health. And one of the systems that takes a big hit is the immune system. And you can tell right away. You don't have to wait a long time. You can have in the family children or family members, right? Some are eating one way, some are eating another way. They're all genetically connected. But you notice that some of the family members, they seem to catch every cold and flu that comes along. Others, they could walk in a room where people have bubonic plague and they don't get sick. You say, well, it's genetics. Well, they're all from the same genetic pool. They're pretty much the same. There are differences, of course. When you start to talk with them, and as a nutritionist, when I'm interviewing clients, and you start to talk about their diet and their lifestyle, there you start to find where the success or the failures are. And I can tell you from experience, and from my, as a researcher, as a nutritionist, as a consultant, whatever, all of it put together, there's not one scintilla of doubt in my mind. You don't have to be running all over hither and yon. Eat more of a whole food, plant-based diet at this time. And then you'll start to get those nutrients, which are really chemicals, right, into your body, and they let them do their work. Your body can only heal itself and defend itself if you arm it with the nutrients to do that. It can't heal itself just out of the thin ether. Move toward the plants. Embrace the plants. Not just the ones you look at in your living room in a potter, but eat them. I'll be back. We'll explore this further, and we're going to talk about sleep in the next block. Proper diet, proper lifestyle. There's no magic here. You want to defend yourself against the virus? These are the basic fundamental building blocks of health that I talk about on this show, and they will serve you well. And it's evidence-based. This is not my opinion. It's based on science. Believe in science, and if you believe me, stay tuned. In the next hour, we'll talk about sleep. I'd love to hear about ways that you try to get the sleep that either work or don't. LTN, coast to coast and globally, always moving forward and moving forward against this virus. We'll be back.
Wayne Elliott here to tell you about my experience with Strauss Heart Drops over the past 20 years. The Strauss Heart Drops saved me back then and changed my life forever. It's hard to describe how invigorating it is when you increase your blood flow everywhere. The Heart Drops have proven to dissolve plaque from arteries, veins, and vessels caused from cholesterol that can restrict or block our blood flow. Our our body's most important function. I was able to avoid open heart surgery, as was my father, and instead cleared our arteries painlessly and without chemical drugs, which, by the way, do not claim to remove any plaque or increase blood flow otherwise. Strauss Heart Drops work, I can assure you. No contraindications with pharma drugs. Strauss Heart Drops are safe, and Strauss guarantees your satisfaction with a money-back guarantee. So you can't go wrong and certainly have nothing to lose. If you've had open heart surgery, angina, diabetes, low energy, cold hands and feet, or grayish-blue skin or lips, Strauss Heart Drops are for you. Available online at powermall.com and straussnaturals.com. I promise you won't be sorry.
This is Dr. Michael Garko from Let's Talk Nutrition. Tired of not having enough energy to exercise and be physically active? Well, OptiNos from Earth's creation can help recharge your body, energy it needs to live a physically active lifestyle. OptiNos does 3 things to help energize. First, it increases nitric oxide, which means more oxygen and nutrients flowing to your cells. Second, OptiNos helps create ATP, the body's energy. Third, OptiNos reduces lactic acid buildup, which causes exercise-associated muscle soreness. So turn on your body's energy switch, OptiNos. Start living a physically active lifestyle. Get OptiNos at ecsportsusa.com. That's ecsportsusa.com. For a limited time, use promo code EC and get $10 off your first order. Promo code EC. The sooner you use OptiNos, the sooner you will feel better about yourself and your body.
The proceeding was a commercial program.
This is Dr. Michael Garko, host of Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. You can get more information about the show on my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. Dr. Michael Garko, host of Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. You can get more information about the show on my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. This is Dr. Michael Garko, and you're listening to Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. If you want to find out more about the show, visit my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. This is Dr. Michael Garko, and you're listening to Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. If you want to find out more about the show, visit my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. Dr. Michael Garko, host of Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. You can get more information about the show on my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. Michael Garko, and you're listening to Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. If you want to find out more about the show, visit my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. This is Dr. Michael Garko, host of Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. You can get more information about the show on my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. Dr. Michael Garko, host of Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. You can get more information about the show on my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. This is Dr. Michael Garko, and you're listening to Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. If you want to find out more about the show, visit my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. This is Dr. Michael Garko, and you're listening to Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. If you want to find out more about the show, visit my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com.
Statements made during this broadcast regarding products or the claims made about specific products have not been evaluated by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. Products and treatments discussed are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent disease. Make your physician aware of all nutritional supplements used and immediately notify your physician if you have any health concern or undiagnosed sign or symptom. Let's Talk Nutrition is a health talk show that features scientists, authors, nutrition specialists, personal trainers, holistic healers, and experts in traditional, natural, and integrative medicine. Listen for a chance to win daily prizes and follow Let's Talk Nutrition on Facebook and Instagram at Let's Talk Nutrition or on Twitter at LTN Radio. It's time for some inspiration. Tune in to get fit and healthy. It's time to talk about nutrition. Nutrition for your body, your mind, your spirit. It's time to talk about proper exercise, stress relief, eating well, and supplementation to help. Get ready to take charge of your health because your health is your wealth and the wealth of those who care about and love you. It's time for Let's Talk Nutrition with Dr. Michael Garko. Welcome to the show.
And welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition. Thanks for tuning into LTN 2020. Yeah, your your information source for the coronavirus crisis and COVID-19 pandemic. We talk about a lot of things, and lately just trying to get people dialed into what you need to do and what you can do. You don't need to go do extraordinary things to necessarily improve your health, protect your health, and the health of those that you care about and love, for sure. And in that first hour, I eventually got around to telling you, I get calls all the time, emails. What should I do? What should I do? When people are expecting some very elaborate, secret, I pulled it out of the vault, only I know information. No. Basic things to do. And with that last hour, I talked about a whole food plant-based diet. If you can't do whole foods, these go to plant-based. Right? Now, I didn't say exclusively, because if you want to eat meat, just try to get the meat that's free range, not contaminated, not derived from these CAFOs, the concentrated feeding animal operations, where the animals are fed and injected chemicals and substances that just contaminate them, and then you eat that stuff. Yeah, I want to do that. If you're going to eat meat, do it prudently, is my advice. But the plants will serve you well. They serve the planet well, too. In this hour, I'm going to talk to you. I've talked about sleep in any number of ways. I've talked about sleep insufficiency. There's a syndrome called insufficient sleep syndrome. Some investigators, researchers, are wanting to classify it as a major non-communicable disease. Some might view that as a bit of a stretch, but it's an interesting argument. And we'll talk about this syndrome, this insufficient sleep syndrome. I can assure you, I know the statistics, the epidemiology on this, and I know that there's going to be, given the audience, this audience, for this show, there's going to be more than a few that are struggling with sleep, especially now, because people are under a lot of stress, they're anxious, they're depressed. All of these kinds of lifestyle alterations are causing chemicals to accumulate in your system that will disrupt your sleep. Many of the stress-related hormones will definitely, cortisol being one of them, will definitely upset your sleep architecture. Yes, we can go without food, we can go without sleep, we can go without water, but you know what? Only for so long. And many believe that they can cheat sleep. You can't. Your body is a biological accountant. It keeps track. It's keeping track of all that we eat, what we do, don't do, in terms of how it may affect our systems. It keeps an accounting of all that. And it's reflected in what we call our health and our wellness. We order labs on clients, get all these different labs. What the lab reports are really is a biological accounting of what's going on inside your body. And in this insufficient sleep syndrome, I'm going to share with you I'll give you really a peek into the effects of not getting enough sleep. It's astounding. And no wonder people turn into a dumpster fire when they go for long periods of time without sufficient sleep and quality sleep. Katie's not busy. Sometimes she's on the phone and caught up and stuff. If she's not, then she's going to tell you how to make contact. I didn't catch you at a bad moment then.
Nope.
So she's going to tell you how to contact the show. You may have some tricks with some tips that you think are useful for sleep. Well, let's see. Give me a call. Let's talk about it and see what you've tried, what worked, what didn't work. I'd love to hear from you.
You can give us a call at 877-897-8255. That's 877-897-TALK. You can also give Dr. Garko an email. His email is drgarko@letstalknutrition.com. And if you head over to letstalknutrition.com, you will find all of our past shows. They're sorted by date and title, so you can listen to the shows and you can watch them live on Facebook and YouTube.
It's probably insulting to tell you that sleep is a biological process. You're also smart and you know that, and that it's essential for survival. Those aren't just words. That's a fact. And that's true today as it was true for our ancient ancestors when we were evolving and becoming what we are today. It has not changed. And it's just as important as food and water. The American Academy of Sleep Medicine, AASM, and the National Sleep Foundation, NSF, recommend that school-age children, which are a lot in the news these days, should receive at least 10 hours of sleep. There are now reports that young children are very depressed, having suicidal ideations during this period when they're closed, disconnected from school, disconnected from the world. They're taking, it's affecting them mightily, and their sleep is being affected. They need at least 10 hours of sleep. And adults, the minimum basic requirement for adults is 7 to 8. And similarly, there are now reports of an increase in suicidal ideations, attempts of suicide, depression, anxiety, bad behavior due to the conditions that we find ourselves in. It's just remarkable. This goes back to what I said in my opening block in the first hour today. It is truly astounding how an unseen all microorganisms are unseen, how this virus has the impact that it has had across the globe. Nobody has been spared. Nobody. Population-based studies indicate that nearly 30%, I think this is underestimated, but one report says 30% of American adults report sleeping an average of 6 or fewer hours per night, while 69% of high school students in reports say they have less than 8 hours of sleep on average during school nights. They need more sleep than that. When people have sleep insufficiency syndrome, they make bad decisions. Their judgment gets impaired. And with teenagers, that can be disastrous, as well as with adults. And we have to think about that in this way. How do these lifestyle elements affect our judgment, affect our decisions, affect the quality of our life? And then people sometimes will they'll look for the path of least biological resistance and start taking sleeping pills. I know doctors that think twice before prescribing them because they know the consequences of some of these sleep medications. I'm going to try to give you some natural ways today to avoid this insufficient sleep syndrome. LTN, coast to coast and globally. We're not asleep now, though. We'll be right back.
Feel tired, lethargic, or irritable? Take solace. You're one of millions of Americans that has trouble falling asleep or staying asleep. In fact, according to a national survey, 54% of adults have trouble sleeping. So what can you do about it? Take Solace. Solace is an all-natural dietary supplement formulated to support healthy sleep and relaxation. Solace can help you fall asleep and stay asleep naturally. Formulated with all natural ingredients, Solace is non addictive and won't leave you feeling groggy in the morning. Take Solace an hour before bed and feel the calming effects of this extensively researched sleep and relaxation aid. For more information on Solace, call toll free 877 533 7066 or visit takesolace.com. That's 877 533 7066 or take SOLUS.com. Look for Solace in your local health and nutrition store. Solace, for a good night's rest naturally.
Did you get enough calcium today? 85% of women over the age of 20 and 50% of men over the age of 30 consume less than the recommended daily intake of calcium. One of the best ways to protect your bones and joints, Bone-Up provides Australian hydroxyapatite, the very same form of calcium found in the human body. However, strong bones and joints require more than calcium. Magnesium, zinc, manganese, copper, silicon, vitamin C, vitamin D3, vitamin K, and boron are all beneficial to optimum joint function. Bone-Up gives you all of these. Bone-Up is the most healthful nutritional regimen for bones and joints. Ask for Bone-Up at your local health food store. Or, for more information, go to www.jarrow.com for the best in calcium formulas.
This is Dr. Michael Garko, and you're listening to Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. If you want to find out more about the show, visit my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. This is Dr. Michael Garko, host of Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. You can get more information about the show on my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. Dr. Michael Garko, host of Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. You can get more information about the show on my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com.
Let's Talk Nutrition is brought to you by CV Sciences, from seed to shelf. New chapter, the benefit of nature's wisdom. Jarrow Formulas, superior nutrition and formulation. Form Essentials, makers of the sleep aid Solace. Yerba Prima, pioneers in internal cleansing. Strauss Herbs, everything our bodies need is provided by nature. Let's Talk Nutrition on the web at letstalknutrition.com. We're back from the break, so let's rejoin Dr. Michael Garko.
Over the past several decades, there have been various studies, more than a few, that have reported a very statistically strong correlation between sleep duration and a person's mortality risk. Welcome back to LTN. Glad you could tune in today. 877-897-8255, 877-897-TALK. These findings show that people sleeping between 7 to 9 hours a night, those people will experience the lowest risk for all-cause mortality compared to people who sleep for shorter or longer periods of time. So we have what I call the Goldilocks principle in play here. It's got to be just right. Not too much, not too little. You find yourself sleeping 10, 11, 12 hours, something's wrong. Something is not right. You shouldn't be sleeping that. You don't need to sleep that long. But on the other hand, if you find yourself sleeping 4, 5 hours a night, maybe 6, something's wrong there too. So you got to be somewhere as an adult between 7 to 9. That's a good range. In the United States, insufficient sleep duration is connected to 5 of the top 15 leading causes of death, including cardio and cardiovascular diseases, diabetes, mellitus, hypertension, accidents of one sort or another. So, lack of sleep is can have grave consequences. And insufficient sleep can have a wide array of social, even career effects, economic effects, family effects, relational effects on a person's life. So I was looking around, and I said, okay, what do we really connect it to? Here is just a little menu of some of the main consequences of insufficient sleep. There are different complications. You have everything from daytime sleepiness and whatnot. You have daytime sleepiness. You inadvertently fall asleep during sedentary activities. Like you're at a meeting, you're reading, you're watching TV, or at the movies, or unfortunately driving. And now you have an increased risk for motor vehicle accidents. Then you have emotional disturbances, where you end up in a bad emotional place, and you get a reduction in your optimism and your sociability. Pain seems to be worse and more prevalent, worsened moods, just cause people all sorts of, get them in all kinds of trouble. Insufficient sleep has effects on your brain. During sleep, your brain consolidates your memories, your experiences, right? That's a very important thing to happen, among other things. And insufficient sleep can even change cause structural changes in the cortical neurons and in reduction of cells in different parts of the brain. This is not good. Insufficient sleep leads to effects on your body weight. People think, well, if I eat my way into obesity. Well, yes, you can, and you can sleep, and help. Insufficient sleep can help you sleep your way into obesity too. Your glucose metabolism is screwed up when you get insufficient sleep. Your glucose tolerance tests show people a pre-diabetic state when they start to move toward that, coupled with a bad diet with insufficient sleep syndrome. Not a good mixture. Cardiovascular issues, hypertension, arrhythmia, oxidative stress affects how your cardiovascular system functions. Impairment, even reproductive system takes a hit in different ways. It goes on and on. And then you have the immune system and inflammation and infection. Here we go. The I word: immune, infection, inflammation. I'm just telling you, people keep looking for the magical things to do during this COVID-19 pandemic and epidemic. Get sufficient sleep. It will do your body a great deal of good. Insufficient sleep syndrome leads to decreased antibody production following influenza infection or vaccination. It's associated with alterations in various chemicals that are pro-inflammatory. They're increased, and a decrease in chemicals and cells that will, help you fight off these infections and reduce inflammation and keep your immune system balanced. I could go on, but I think you get the picture. There's a website I would invite you to take a visit. Solus. TakeSolace.com. SOLUS. You take solace in the idea that if you get sufficient sleep, your health will be more than sufficient. We come back, I'll talk to you about solace and what that is and why I think it's a good idea to include it in your regimen. LTN, coast to coast and globally.
The latest trend to hit the store shelves has the whole country buzzing. Cannabidiol, or CBD, might just be the greatest discovery of our generation, and it comes from a plant that is not so new, agricultural hemp. Yes, after 70 years of prohibition and misunderstanding, hemp is back to help you stay healthy and balanced. Growing research is showing that we have a lot to learn from the remarkable hemp plant. Nutrient-rich products like Plus CBD Oil's Total Plant Complex concentrated products provide broad-spectrum nutrition, including fatty acids, plant sterols, cannabinoids, terpenes, and naturally occurring vitamin E. From seed to shelf, all Plus CBD Oil products provide the highest quality hemp-derived CBD products available and are offered in a variety of delivery systems and flavors to suit your needs. Ask your local independent health food store about Plus CBD Oil products by CV Sciences today and learn more about the CBD evolution at pluscbdoil.com. That's pluscbdoil.com.
This is Dr. Michael Garko, and you're listening to Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. If you want to find out more about the show, visit my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. Dr. Michael Garko, host of Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. You can get more information about the show on my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. Michael Garko, and you're listening to Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. If you want to find out more about the show, visit my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. Dr. Michael Garko, host of Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. You can get more information about the show on my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. Dr. Michael Garko, host of Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. You can get more information about the show on my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. This is Dr. Michael Garko, and you're listening to Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. If you want to find out more about the show, visit my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com.
Let's Talk Nutrition is brought to you by Jarrow Formulas, superior nutrition and formulation. Strauss Herbs, everything our bodies need is provided by nature. Kyolic, aging makes the finest garlic truly odorless. Celsius, live fit. Irwin Naturals, premium vitamins and supplements. 25 years of gold standard supplements. Let's Talk Nutrition on the web at letstalknutrition.com. We're back from the break, so let's rejoin Dr. Michael Garko.
Welcome back. Welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition. Glad you could find your way to the show today, whether you're listening or watching. It's all good with me. And talking about sleep and sleep insufficiency syndrome, you don't want to fall prey to that syndrome. Far too many people do. Now, there's many different things I can tell you to do to get with the clients when they're having issues with sleep. There's all sorts of things depending on everybody's different. You know, what is the cause of their sleep insufficiency? What's the cause of their insomnia? And I have to work through that with the client and figure it out. And then you make general consulting recommendations from nutrition to lifestyle variables, right? Now, supplements can be very helpful. And I use them in my practice with clients to help them get better sleep. And there are any number of sleep products out there. I've talked about them on the show, and I give the ones that work as the ones I talk about. Today I'm going to tell you about Solus, S-O-L-U-L, S-O-L-U-S. Take Solus. It's an all-natural dietary supplement, and it was formulated, and I know the person who formulated he used to be a guest on the show, good colleague, formulated to help support healthy sleep and relaxation, and it will do that. To do that, Solus contains then a number or a combination of different natural ingredients that I'll talk about with you. So what you do, it's very simple. You don't have to get up at midnight and slaughter a chicken or do some ritual. You don't have to do any of that. It's not necessary. All you need to do is open the bottle, and take Solus an hour before bedtime. And more often than not, people will have a good night's rest naturally. So we'll get into it in depth. If you have any questions, give me a call, or you can listen to Katie, and she can tell you how to make contact with the show.
You can give us a call at 877-897-8255. That's 877-897-TALK. And as always, you can send Dr. Garko an email. If you want it to be private, it can be private. You want us to read it on air, we can do that too. His email's Dr. Garko, G-A-R-K-O, at letstalknutrition.com. And if you head over to letstalknutrition.com, you can listen back to any shows you may have missed, or you can re-listen to today's show. You can listen to shows from months ago, whatever you want to do. You can do it on letstalknutrition.com. And you can also watch the show on Facebook and YouTube live and the replays of it as well. So if you missed anything, it's easy to listen back to the show.
No excuses.
No excuses.
So how are you sleeping? How are you sleeping these days, Katie?
Lately, I've actually been sleeping pretty good. I went through a period of time where I was getting really deep sleep, and then I went through a little where I was not sleeping well at all. And then I learned to stop looking at my phone right before I go to bed. I give it like an hour. I put my phone on the charger. I do like my nighttime rituals, shower, brush my teeth, feed the dogs, do all that. And I find that it helps me sleep better not looking at my phone right before I go to bed.
100%. That blue light is a sleep disruptor.
Yeah.
Coming off that phone. We talked about that on the show, right?
Yeah,
You heard us talk.
Yeah, we've talked about blue light. That's actually what inspired me to stop looking at my phone before I go to bed, because at that point when we had that conversation, I think it was with Dominique, I could be wrong. But when we had that conversation, I was having really bad sleep. So I don't even think I said anything on air. Maybe I did, but I remember thinking to myself, I'm going to give that a try. And I did. And it's actually been very effective for me. I've been getting much better sleep. It's the blue light. And it was like the videos I was watching was like playing in my head when I was trying to fall asleep. So it's been a lot easier for me to fall asleep. And I find that I get better sleep as well.
Mm-hmm. So what time do you have to be at the station to do that other show right before you come and work with me?
I get here about 4:30, 4:45. And I live 40 minutes from the station. So I leave my house about 4, and I get here whenever I get here.
Oh, what do you get up at 3 o'clock?
Yeah, my alarm goes off. Well, my alarm starts going off at 2:40. I'm one of those people who hits snooze quite a few times before I actually can get up.
Yeah.
I wish I wasn't. I wish I was someone who didn't do that. I envy those of you who can just wake up on one alarm. Bless you.
So let's see, if you get up at 3, so 3 to 12, that's 3. 9 o'clock would be 6 hours.
I go to bed at 8. I try to.
You go to bed at 8?
I try to go to bed at 8. I start winding down about 7:30, 7:45. I try to be in my bed at 8 o'clock. And then I write in my little journal I write in every night, and then I go to bed.
So that would give you about 7 hours sleep. Got up at 3, 8 to 7,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. That's pretty good. It's hard to do though, to go to bed at 8 o'clock. I mean, there's a lot of things going on in the world at 8 o'clock. Some things are just starting up at 8 o'clock, right?
Yeah, it's hard. I'm not going to get into politics, but I work on a political-ish show in the morning, and they're always like, "Did you see the debates last night?" I'm like, "No, they started at 8 o'clock. How did you see it?" I assume everyone else goes to bed, but the host of our show, he's older. He gets like 4 hours of sleep a night. I mean, he's been doing it for years, but he goes to bed at 11 and gets up at 4. And I tell him all the time, I'm like, I don't know how you function, period. But at your age, only functioning on 4 hours of sleep, it's insane. I don't know how they do it. I have to get at least 7.
Yeah, your discipline is outstanding.
Yeah,
that is incredible.
I am very disciplined. I'm not a coffee drinker, so I can't come to work and drink a cup of coffee and wake up. I need to sleep well at night.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to bed at midnight every night because I don't have to be up till 7.
Hey, at least you get 7 hours.
There's a lot of difference between 3 and 7. That person that you referenced getting only 4 hours sleep, especially if they're deeper into the lifespan, they're decreasing the potential of their lifespan too. Little does that person realize it.
Yeah.
But it's hard to convince people of that. They don't make the connection. How does sleep have anything to do with my mortality? The answer is everything. So, yeah, I'm just saying, But thank you for sharing that. And that that challenge that you have, a lot of people have that challenge. And it's hard, man. Go to bed at 8 o'clock at night. Why, hell, I'm having my dinner at 8. Right? Yeah. Man, I don't know how you do it.
I eat dinner at like 4:30.
Oh, geez. Growing up, we used to have dinner at 5 o'clock.
That's my grandma. She's been like that forever.
5 o'clock.
5 o'clock is dinner time unless it's Thanksgiving. Then be over there by 1:30, 2 o'clock.
Exactly. No, that's right. That's exactly right. Growing up, dinner was at 5 o'clock, and my dad had to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning to go to work, go to the platforms where the trains and the trucks were, work for the railroad. Poor thing. Job took his life, man. Makes me mad. Miss you, Dad.
Wayne Elliott here to tell you about my experience with Strauss Heart Drops over the past 20 years. The Strauss Heart Drops saved me back then and changed my life forever. It's hard to describe how invigorating it is when you increase your blood flow everywhere. The Heart Drops have proven to dissolve plaque from arteries, veins, and vessels caused from cholesterol that can restrict or block our blood flow, our body's most important function. I was able to avoid open heart surgery, as was my father, and instead cleared our arteries painlessly and without chemical drugs, which, by the way, do not claim to remove any plaque or increase blood flow otherwise. Strauss Heart Drops work, I can assure you. No contraindications with pharma drugs. Strauss Heart Drops are safe, and Strauss guarantees your satisfaction with a money-back guarantee. So you can't go wrong and certainly have nothing to lose. If you've had open heart surgery, angina, diabetes, low energy, cold hands and feet, or grayish-blue skin or lips, Strauss Heart Drops are for you. Available online at powermall.com and straussnaturals.com. I promise you won't be sorry.
The ever-increasing stress and toxicity we are exposed to from our environment, diets, and lifestyles make internal cleansing a necessary part of a good health regimen. Founded in 1980, Yerba Prima was the first company to launch a whole-body internal cleansing kit. Since that time, they have continued to develop and manufacture a complete range of all-natural, high-quality fiber and internal cleansing products. By using all-natural psyllium fiber and no harmful stimulant laxatives, all Yerba Prima fiber and internal cleansing products can be used over a long period of time to ensure optimal health and regularity. With nearly 30 years dedicated to all-natural cleansing products, it's easy to see why Yerba Prima is a leader in the fiber and cleansing products category. Learn more at yerbaprima.com, YERBAPRIMA.com, or visit your local health retailer. Yerba Prima, pioneer in internal cleansing products.
Did you get enough calcium today? 85% of women over the age of 20 and 50% of men over the age of 30 consume less than the recommended daily intake of calcium. One of the best ways to protect your bones and joints, Bone Up provides Australian hydroxyapatite, the very same form of calcium found in the human body. However, strong bones and joints require more than calcium. Magnesium, zinc, manganese, copper, silicon, vitamin C, vitamin D3, vitamin K, and boron are all beneficial to optimum joint function. Bone Up gives you all of these. Bone Up is the most healthful nutritional regimen for bones and joints. Ask for Bone Up at your local health food store. Or, for more information, go to www.jarrow.com for the best in calcium formulas.
This is Dr. Michael Garko, and you're listening to Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. If you want to find out more about the show, visit my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. Dr. Michael Garko, host of Let's Talk Nutrition on this station. You can get more information about the show on my website at letstalknutrition.com. That's letstalknutrition.com. This is Dr. Michael Garko, and you're listening to
Let's Talk Nutrition is brought to you by American Biotech Labs, your daily immune system support. Celsius, Live Fit. CV Sciences, from seed to shelf. New Chapter, the benefit of nature's wisdom. Jarrow Formulas, superior nutrition and formulation. Let's Talk Nutrition on the web at letstalknutrition.com. We're back from the break, so let's rejoin Dr. Michael Garko.
All right, so we're going to do the LTN health question of the day. I didn't give the answer to this. Let's see if you know your stuff. This is a little tough. This one's a little tough. So it turns out that in Solace, there's a number of different ingredients. For example, in Solace, you're going to find melatonin, 5-HTP, which is 5-hydroxytryptophan, gamma-aminobutyric acid, GABA, valerian root, hops, chamomile, passion flower. All of these, and there's one more, but all of these ingredients have been studied thoroughly and in one way or another contribute to sleep. Now, there's an ingredient in Solace that is a precursor to serotonin, the precursor to serotonin, which is a precursor to melatonin. Melatonin, you know, is a hormone, and it can help you sleep. Serotonin is the precursor to that sleep hormone. What's the precursor to serotonin? Is it L-tyrosine or L-tryptophan? Which one is the precursor to serotonin so that you can get to melatonin? Some people will buy, and melatonin, by the way, is included in many sleep products. So, what's the answer? Is it L-tyrosine or L-tryptophan that is the precursor? All right. Yeah. All right. Here's a hint. The stuff in turkey. Katie gave you a hint. She said the stuff in turkey on Thanksgiving. She's right. What's the number, Katie, for the what? Call?
877-897-8255. It's 877-897-TALK. Why you're asleep before 6 p.m. on Thanksgiving every year. Maybe that's just me, but I'm pretty sure it's not.
I'm just going to support Katie on this one.
That's a good hint. That's a good hint. Is it L-tyrosine or L-tryptophan? That's the precursor to serotonin, which is the precursor to melatonin, which will get you to sleep. And it turns out that this particular, either L-tyrosine or L-tryptophan, is in Solace. Go to TakeSolace, SOLUS.com, and learn about that product, sold in fine health stores throughout the United States. L-tyrosine or L-tryptophan? Stuff that's in turkey that you eat on Thanksgiving. We'll see. Okay, we got oh, wow. Steve, that was quick. Let's go to Steve in Tampa, Florida. Steve, welcome to the show. It's great to have you on.
Great to be here. How are you doing, Doctor?
I'm good. So do you get enough sleep?
I try to get at least 7 hours a night, yeah.
Pretty regularly? You're pretty. Can you tell the difference? And if you don't get enough sleep in a day or two, for a couple of days, do you notice a difference or not?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, if I don't get the correct sleep, yeah, I'm not myself.
You're not yourself. Exactly, 100%. So what's the precursor to serotonin, which, by the way, is the precursor to melatonin? that helps you sleep. Which one? Is it L-tyrosine or L-tryptophan?
L-tryptophan.
100%. Congratulations. Are you out there in the world working every day?
I am.
Yeah. Do you wear your mask? Do you have to wear your mask? Do you come in contact with people?
At times when I have to go into stores and stuff like that, but I work out of my car a lot. I do surveillance. I'm an investigator, so yeah, I pretty much in my vehicle a lot.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Well, that's an interesting career. Yeah, you probably you see people at their worst, I think, sometimes, right?
Yeah, you see the lower element of people, yeah.
Aw. Well, you be safe in every sense of the word. Thank you for listening to the show. I appreciate you. And stay safe, and I'm glad you won the $25 supplement gift card.
Thank you, doctor. You have a great day.
My pleasure. There you go. That's an interesting job. Private investigator. Wow. I used to have a neighbor. He lived a couple doors down. He was here for a few months and he sold the house and left. I don't know. He was an investigator. He would tell me interesting stories about people. Yeah. Nothing to investigate here. Can't get much trouble in the house. Right, Katie?
Yes.
Can't rob the bank. Can't do anything. You can't commit, stay home. Crime's down.
That's true.
So, yeah, Solace, it has all the right ingredients, man. They just put it together right. And it has melatonin in it as well. So it has L-tryptophan, right, which is the precursor to serotonin, which is the precursor to melatonin. But they put the melatonin in it anyway. So you get L-tryptophan, melatonin, 5-HTP, GABA, skullcap, valerian root, hops, chamomile, passion flower. Put those all together, and guess what? You'll sleep well. It works. Well thought out formulation. And I know, as I told you, I know that the individual. I don't have permission to use his name, but he used to be a guest on the show years ago. Very smart, educator too, by the way. So today we covered some territory. In that first hour, talking about a plant approach to your diet and how it can help you defend against the COVID, plant-based diet to defend against COVID-19 pandemic. In this hour, we talked about sleep insufficiency syndrome, how insufficient sleep has such a tremendous global impact on your health. And so if you can eat the plants, sleep well, get some exercise, have good connection with your family, you have a good chance to survive this virus. That's one way to counter it.